man, I really do. That is really, really bad. I tried to change the lighting, and now the side, there's so much, the light is so wrong. Give me 1 second. While that all fires up there. That is not right. Are you not remembering? And everything is all the sound is wrong now. What the hell? All right, that should be fixed. Okay, that's all fixed. This is what happens when you have two studio areas in your general area. I don't know why all the blue stuff, because that's literally never happened with that light setup back there. But I do have an added light so I can see. Maybe if I turn this down a little bit more so I can see a little bit better. Hell, I don't know. It is what it is. All right, so we've got a bunch of people in the YouTubes already. We got some. Take your time. I'm dropping a deuce. Well, good for you, Todd. Let the world know. I'm just sitting here. Now we know where Todd's phone goes. Okay, guys, it looks like we're all good to go. Nice echo. So obviously the sound was working. Yeah, the echo is happening. Well, let's see. Jordan's a Patreon, so she knows that over there is where I do like all of my work. It's like the command center, and over here is the studio side. And I thought I turned the sound off over there, but apparently I didn't. So that's all fixed, and we are all set. All right, so let's see here. We're going to go ahead and we talked to, if you're on the Clapper side, do me a favor, check in, say hi. I'll say hi back to you. It really does help the channel. It gets things rolling. It gets the juices flowing for the algorithm to know that we're here. I do have several things I want to talk about today. I don't know how long it will take, but some interesting stuff today, guys. Not a lot of doom and gloom today. Thank God. I get a little tired of it from time to time. But the reality is sometimes there are some things that are less doomsday-ish, which is ironic because the actual term doomsday is in the news today, if you didn't know. And we're going to cover some of that. Let's see. What is the first thing that we need to do? Let's talk about the very first thing that we need to do, and that is to talk about the basic bull, you know what, itery. Let's see. San Francisco cleaned out the homeless, but not the crime. A Czech TV crew was robbed at gunpoint while filming the APEC summit this week. If you didn't know what it is, APEC is like where they get together to decide the fate of the world, but it happens here in San Francisco. And on the Clapper side, I apologize for the camera being tilted, but no matter what I did this morning, I can't get the tilt out of it. It's so ridiculous. It may have fixed itself. Okay, so, and I was doing research this morning, but I couldn't find enough information. So they got rid of all the homeless in certain areas of San Francisco. Where'd they go? Where did they send them to? There's like no coverage of it whatsoever. There was one overnight winter 30 bed place that they had set up. But where did all the homeless go? Very blurry today. I'm blurry. Okay, maybe I smudged something. Let's see here. All right. Am I still blurry, guys? I don't think so. I think it may be just the extra light that I've added. But let's see here. The McDonald's processing plant. Todd says I'm clear here. Yes, Todd. Thank you. Appreciate it, bro. San Francisco, just like I couldn't read that. It happened too fast. Anyway, we'll go back to the comments here in a little while. At least 30 people were killed after a passenger bus slid off the road in the Himalayas on Wednesday. Isn't that special? Hockey player Matt Petgrave was arrested in the death of Adam Johnson on a suspicion of manslaughter after he slashed Johnson's neck with his skate during a game. I saw the video. It does look intentional. Let's see. Hungary has introduced a bill to maintain the country's sovereignty to combat outside interests. Good. The U.S. will pay $120 million to buy an anti-aircraft system from Ukraine, to buy an anti-aircraft system from Jordan. No, for Ukraine from Jordan. This is a huge markup from the price that Jordan paid, which is about $380,000. Isn't that magical? A judge in Brazil is under investigation for using AI to write a decision. Oh boy. Let's see here. And I think that's going to be it for the Dum Dum News. If you guys are popping in, do me a favor, hit that like and subscribe button. If you're on the Clapper side, do what you do over there to make things happen. I really wish I knew the terminology. One day I will figure it out. I promise that I'll figure that out. Okay, so we got through all the Dum Dum News. Let's go ahead and knock out the. You know what? I need to go to the chat, guys. Hold on a second here. I've got something is. Got it. Why is this thing on my stupid thingy? The hell was I just doing? Something just happened on my computer that has all my notes, and now weird stuff is happening. All right, so if you guys didn't know this, a couple days ago, the European Union Commission welcomes final agreement on the EU digital identity wallet. They did it, guys. In the European Union, they're going to use digital ID. Yes, that's it. It's supposed to be magical and save the world and all this other shit, but we all know that we're going straight to hell when it comes to that. That's what I was going to do. Before we get into that, I need to address. Where is it at? I need to address. Pop out chat. Gotta make it bigger so I can see it. All right, let's do this right. All right, so Alan first, Mad Max number 2, Hicktown Honey third, Hicktown Honey. I think you asked me. It's either you or Catitude that asked me a question that I will be answering here shortly. Let's see here. Deborah, Tefel. Tefel says I'm here early for once. Don't forget to hit. Okay, and then what we got here? Deborah. We got Jordan. Cool Colt. Grumpy Acres, SF, just like El Paso, is a Potemkin village. Yeah, it's a joke. Tefel says when the Olympics were in Utah years ago, they shipped the homeless out of the state. Yeah, but it's funny because it's like, where the hell did they send them? There's nothing in the news. I hit ground.news, I hit Google, I hit Yahoo News, nothing about it. There's like one video of from a local caster, a local affiliate that follows this one guy around with his wheelchair full of stuff. Oddly enough, he's got a dog and a dog carrier or a cat or something, and he's like, they're supposed to tell me where my stuff is, but I'm staying right here on the streets, and I just won't go over there, and I'll go over here. And I'm like, where did they send these people? Where did they go to? Because apparently the idea was they were just going to take all their stuff and give them receipts for their stuff, and that would make them go away. And it worked. So where are these people? That's the question of the day, I guess. All right, let's see here. Let's see. Well, how about that? I got the notification. Yes, Bradley, you got the notification. Good to hear. Good to hear, guys. Colin, I don't recognize your name. Thanks for checking in. Still at work, checking in. So apparently you know me. You know who I am. I appreciate that, dude. And I will try to know more about you. So post some stuff. All right, we got Gibbsby showing up. Haven't seen you in a while, Gibbsby. The EU got cat cards. No, it's going to be digital ID. It's going to be on your phone, or if you're a citizen of the European Union. And we're going to go over some of that data. There's not really a lot to tell because it's all lots of words that mean something to them, but not to us. 1 second. I wonder if anybody else does this kind of crap. I think that's unique to me. It's like West Virginia Pappy is omnipresent. Let's see here. But digital ID is voluntary! ! Major Ken says. Yeah, I don't think it's not going to be. It's going to be mandatory. Let's see here. Dumped in a neighboring town. I believe that, Deborah. Major Ken says, I think we should all have cat cards for repudiation purposes, i.e. voting financial. Any piece of identification can be under the current technology, any piece of identification can be fraudulently made. It's just that easy. I think I honestly think so. Listen, for voting guys, the simplest way to fix the voting problem is to go back to paper ballots. The United Kingdom is still on paper ballots, and their stuff works just fine. They got enough people to do enough jobs. This whole idea that it's just ridiculous to put a name on a piece of paper called a ballot and write down what you want and then have another human being count it and then have another human being check that count. That it's just too ridiculous, that we're just too big to do that, is the ridiculous idea. There's absolutely 100% nothing wrong with a paper ballot. And it would only take one little jurisdiction, okay? One little jurisdiction to prove the whole world wrong and show them that this can be done. It's just it works, okay? All right, let's see here. CAI as well on its way to digital ID system. Oh, I believe it, bro. And here's the thing with the European Union doing this. What's up, Miss Melody? Good to see you. With the European Union doing this, what this comes down to is that it's that domino effect where everybody will be like, well, they're doing it in the European Union. The European Union will be like, if you want to do business here, you're going to have to do it. And oh, by the way, if you travel to the European Union, it may be necessary for you to have some form of digital identification in order to make purchases. What's up, Maddie? Good to see you, bro. So those things are it's the plan is well thought out. As much as they want you to believe that they're just stumbling through it, but that is not the case. And in fact, they're actually setting deadlines. So I said, since we're talking about that, let's go ahead and close that subject up. The Commission welcomes the final agreement reached today by the European Parliament and the Parliament. That's hilarious. These are not elected officials. And the Council of the EU the Parliament is elected, kind of, and the Council on the EU is not elected. At the final trilogy on the regulation introducing European digital identity wallets. So that's going to be the phrase they're going to use. European digital identity wallets. This concludes the co-legislators' work implementing the result of the provisional political agreement reached on blah, blah, blah framework for the EU digital ID, the first trusted and secure digital identity framework for all Europeans. Isn't that special? Isn't that special? Hey, what's up, Carissa? Good to see you. Good to see you. Oh, yeah. You know what that is. You know what that is. All right. This marks an important step towards the digital decade 2030. And there's a little link here that I might research later. Targets on the digitalization of public services. All EU citizens will be offered the possibility, that's funny, to have an EU digital identity wallet to access public and private online services in full security and protection of personal data all over Europe. In addition to public services, very large online platforms designated under the Digital Services Act, including services such as Amazon, Booking.com, or Facebook. Ooh, go figure that. And private services that are legally required to authenticate their users their users will have to, they might as well just say must, accept the digital EU identity wallet for logging into their online services. So you won't even be able to go to Booking.com in the European Union to book anything without digital ID. Remember what I just said about the whole traveling thing? Yeah. Okay, hope you couldn't log into your Facebook account without your digital ID wallet. Tell me that's not Orwellian. Let's see here. And they use a lot of bold. They're making it attractive for all private service providers to accept them for their services, thus creating new business opportunities. The wallet will also facilitate service providers' compliance compliance. Where was I at? With various regulatory requirements. Isn't that magical? How they just, you will comply. That will be it. You will comply. Oh, they love using, and I'm actually reading this right off the European Union Commission website, ec.europa.eu, and all the other things that come after that web address. Next steps. We're going to read next steps, and then we're going to be done with it. So next steps. The agreement reached by the co-legislators is now subject to formal approval by the European Parliament and the Council. Wait a minute. Wouldn't the European Parliament be enough? No, the Council has to approve it as well. Once formally adopted, the European Digital Identity Framework will enter into force on the 20th day following its publication in the official journal. By the way, it's 24 months from now, if you didn't know that. Member states will have to provide EU digital identity wallets to their citizens 24 months after adoptions for implementing acts setting out the technical specifications of the EU digital identity wallet and the technical specifications for certification. There it is. First yawn of the morning. These implementing acts to be adopted 6 to 12 months after adoption of the regulation will draw on the specifications developed as part of the EU Digital Identity Toolbox. So they're actually going to give them tools to build these things with. Setting harmonized conditions for implementing the wallets of all across Europe. Isn't that special? What does that mean? What does that mean? Hey, what's up, Smoke? Good to see you, bro. What does it mean? It means that they're doing it. They're doing it, guys. They're going to make the digital ID, not just the digital wallet. It's all this game that they're playing where it's like, we're going to protect you from yourself. For these criminals will never get. You think they won't figure this shit out? You think they won't figure out how to hack a wallet, a digital ID? You're not playing with a full deck if you think that can't happen. It's absolutely ridiculous to think that it can't happen. We were talking about this yesterday. Banks are getting shut down. Hackers are getting in. You think that they're not going to target that entire system? Let's just put everybody on the same system. That way, all the bad actors in the world can attack this one system that they're using to try to control everybody and take it hostage. And now because you fed into the bull, because you are dumb enough to allow your legislator in the European Union vote on stuff like this, or even be thinking of this kind of stuff, that now you're the one that is actually not able to make a transaction. You're the one that's not able to get on an airplane. You're the one that's not able to use the system that they forced you to do because you let them force you to do it. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. All right, let's go to the chat real quick. I'm going to check the clapper out real quick. Carissa, you're very welcome. Let's see here. It means complete government control. They already have. I voted for you. You voted for me. I didn't run for nothing. I won't let me say what I want to. It won't let me say what I want to. Wow, that's interesting. On Clapper, Clapper's not letting you say something. You're supposed to be able to say anything you want here, as long as it's not like, I don't know, like what a normal human being would consider to be hateful. I won't even use the term hate speech. You see what I'm saying, Clapper people? This is what I'm talking about. We were talking about this yesterday with EDC is a bad idea. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. We carry car keys, cell phones, and wallets, and that hasn't caused any problems. Carrying a flashlight, a sidearm, and a pocket knife isn't going to hurt anything else. Oh, okay. Well, you said EDC in the wrong community. Smoke meant electric digital currency. Yeah, I got you. Bad language can be filtered, but you can mod around it. You have to be a mod to cuss in chat. Gotcha. I'm for the second. Gotcha, Smoke. Gotcha. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and check the YouTube. YouTube has been quiet for a little bit. So, hey, do me a favor, YouTube. Type the letter A. Type the letter A, YouTube. Let's wake up this chat. It did go stagnant. You guys saw it do this yesterday. I need your help here. Let's get this going. While you're doing that, I'm going to go ahead and look at the chat on the things that we were just talking about. Maddie says digital ID here in December, so I hear. Oh, and Maddie's in Australia, so what happens if server crash? No idea. Exactly, West Virginia, Pappy. It's like they're funneling us in. It's like they don't care, because the goal is just to get us to buy into this whole giving up who you are and following this system that will fail. The simplest people on the planet. Listen, I always present myself as the dumbest guy in the room, okay? Thank you, Major Ken. Thank you for being an individualist. I always present myself as being the dumbest guy in the room, okay? And the reason is because I believe that I can actually learn something from the other people around me. Even if the only thing I learn is that I'm in a room full of idiots, I still learn something, okay? So, it's not working. Good, it's not working. But these dumb people in the world can see this. It's not fear. It's not like people are not worried that this will happen. They know. They have enough foresight in their simple little lives to realize that going down this path only leads to problems. It's that easy. It's absolutely that easy. So if they can figure this out, why can these overly educated, overly indoctrinated, overly foolish people not see it? It's either ignorance or arrogance. That is the basis for all bad decisions. Ignorance or arrogance. It's crazy, man. Let's see here. Carissa says, I didn't take that thing that we talked about. Good for you. I'm glad, because we're going to start seeing some problems. I did a video that actually got taken down off of YouTube that talked about that. Go to my Rumble channel, check that out. It's about a year old. Maybe it could be over a year old, but I don't make a lot of Rumble videos, so it won't be hard to find it, But people are just there are problems. There are problems, guys, that we can't talk about here. So, because I am on Clapper, I could talk about it, but I'm on YouTube right now too, so I can't. So, all right, let's see here. Let's go into this chat here. Let's see where we at here. They will make you can't bank, pay car, rego bills. I'm catching what you're laying down, Maddie, halfway. There's a language. We're separated by common language right now. But I'm catching what you're laying down. So let's see. Going to be handy. Hicktown Honey says it's going to be handy when they want to find someone for what they say. If your digital ID is used for social media. Oh, most definitely. I mean, they can already do it now. There are systems out there right now that can just like boom, just ping you just like that and find out everything they want to know about you, down to your, and they just trace your IP address is what this all comes down to, guys. So, and there's a digital set of crumbs that lead right back to every person on the planet. That's one of the reasons that I don't hide. I don't hide because I don't say things that are stupid. You know what I'm saying? And I don't give people the idea that I believe in getting rid of government, because I don't. Government does have a function. It's just that our government sucks. I was thinking about this morning. I was reading about, there's actually some information that I'm going to share with you today about a prepper who got himself into some trouble, and it just makes you think, it's like, have I said any of these things? Would people believe that I wanted to be seditious or whatever? No, because that's just not who I am, and I've never said anything like that, because it comes down to believing what you're saying and then doing what you believe in. And I believe that our government is something that could work. It's just got to be fixed. It's got to be fixed. Let's see here. Going to be handy. ETIS is Jordan O'Neill says ETIIS is starting up. It's like Interpol background check along with Visa. Yeah, I mean, they're constantly firing these systems up. They're constantly creating these organizations to monitor things that are happening, all in the auspices of we're trying to protect people. It's all bullshit. That it's protecting people is it's a side effect of the overreach that they're attempting. This is what the WAF written all over. Oh yeah, of course, Maddie. Let's see. No one is scanning my rectum. I mean retina. Let's see here. Even fingerprints needed for ID. Listen, guys. Here's the thing. The military has a system called BATS. You can look it up, and it's been used in every how do I say this? It was used in both Iraq and Afghanistan to identify people because there was no identification system in these tribal countries. And so what they do is they scan, they put the thing and they scan their eye, and then there's a guy who knows how to use the system, and he says, "What's your name?" And he's like tick, 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 and he adds in all this information. And then when this guy shows up at another place and they scan him again, and he tries to tell them that he's someone else, boom, they snatch him up. Okay? The system, all these systems already exist, guy. They already exist. Okay? They're not classified. You can look all this stuff up. All right? So if you're interested in that kind of technology, go ahead and take a look at it. All right, for all of you that typed the letter A, thank you very much. For those of you that typed B, whatever. What do we got here? Alan's like, Canada, eh? Counterterrorism at its best. Robert, I don't recognize your name, Robert. Thank you for popping in. Morning all, and a salute to all the veterans watching today, 82nd Airborne. Good to go, dude. We've chewed the same dirt, my friend. We've chewed the same dirt. All right, let's see here. Let's go ahead, and since we're on that particular topic right there, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to talk about, I'm going to close this window. Hopefully I did not close the window. Let's see, where is it at? Okay, so our next subject, it's time to take a sip of coffee, guys. Take a sip of coffee. All right, here we go. So the title of this one is Governor Kathy Hochul says New York has started conducting special media surveillance efforts to monitor hate. It's just another way to get in your business. We're monitoring for hate because we're going to attach this subject to something everybody would say is bad. It's like you can't even put a sentence together to explain it. You're just going to use the one word, hate. That's what this is all about. Here we go. In response to escalating incidents or harassments, particularly against Jewish or Muslim communities, New York's Governor Kelly Holcomb is today intensifying the state's counterterrorism measures and is boasting the controversial practice of surveilling social media platforms and therefore the speech of New Yorkers and other American citizens. This doesn't sound bad at all, does it? The measure follows ongoing tensions in Israel and Gaza. Hochul revealed plans for enhancing the FBI Joint Terrorism Task Force personnel, and which means putting New York state troopers or New York investigators in the JTTF, and assigning an extra $2.5 million to the state police. This isn't the first time Hochul has stuck her nose into monitoring online speech. By the way, a New York law aimed at regulating hateful conduct online was blocked by a judge. This law, signed by Governor Hochul, required social media networks to report and address hateful content, broadly defined as actions that vilify or incite violence based on various identity factors. Judge Andrew L. Carter Jr. ruled that the law violated the First Amendment. Oh, say it isn't so. A law that they're sworn to never make against the Constitution of the state or of our country. Isn't that special? A law that's unconstitutional, that violates the First frickin' Amendment. It's like, we're just going to violate that one, just the very first one, right? Ruled that the law violated the First Amendment, emphasizing the importance of protecting even hateful speech. The court argued that the law not only restricted the speech of social media users, but also compelled social media networks to adopt and endorse the state's definition of hateful conduct. So they write a little paragraph in their little state law that says, this, what we're writing here in this little paragraph, this is what we're defining as hateful conduct. Well, you don't get to decide, lady. You don't get to decide because you're not one of our founding fathers, because you don't get to amend our Constitution. It is absolutely, positively that easy. And now listen to this idiot, and I hope that you guys will be able to hear this. I have the sound cranked all the way up, but as usual, my internet's all messed up, so I have to do it this way. Here we go.
Also, we're very focused on the data we're collecting from...
Oh, and by the way, if you hear a pause in here, it's because this is a video, okay? I can see it, but you can't. But this is a video where she's making a statement about what she's done, okay? And she is just like losing her mind because she knows what she's saying is absolutely wrong. Here we go.
Surveillance efforts. What's being said on social media platforms. And we have launched an effort to be able to counter some of the negativity and reach out to people when we see hate speech being spoken about on online platforms. Our media analysis, our social media analysis unit has ramped up its monitoring of sites to catch incitement to violence, direct threats to others. And all this is in response to our desire, our strong commitment to ensure that not only do New Yorkers be safe, but they also feel safe.
Okay, so that's her actual official speech. Obviously, it's a snippet, and I didn't take it out of context. But it's just absolutely ridiculous that they think they can do this. It's already unconstitutional. The judge has already ruled it to be unconstitutional. Obviously, these lefty nutbags are going to be like, oh, we're going to fight it in another level of court. Whatever. That's what they're going to do. So it is what it is. It is what it is. But I want you guys to know that it's there, especially if you're in the state of New York. Oh my God, you guys really need to get rid of these morons. All right, let's go ahead and check the chat here real quick. Justin, good morning. Good morning. Morning all. And we talked to that. And the chat died again, but that is okay. That is okay. If you guys want to talk about something that's specific to that particular case right there, do me a favor, put it in the chat. And then we can go back and talk about it here in a second. The chat on the Clapper side is a little bit more reactive, but hey, that's okay. That is a-okay. We're going to work within both systems to make this work. Chat stops again, you get throttled. Yeah, Tefel, it's happening. It's either people are just listening, which I understand. They're listening to what I'm saying, and then after I'm done talking about it, they'll okay? So that is very, very possible. But we can fix that. That is not a huge thing. Let's see here. We're going to go ahead and move on to the next subject. What do we got here? It is we're clicking right along. Okay, so if you didn't know this, yesterday when I put a question in the a poll inside of Good morning, Tactical Sig. Good to see you. This morning or yesterday morning, I put a poll on the YouTube side asking whether you thought that we would have a government shutdown. It was 52% saying yes, we would. I mean, obviously the question is not answered yet, but if you have not been following the news, the House passed a funding bill to avert a government shutdown. More than 2/3 of the House voted in support of the new Speaker Mike Johnson's unique two-step plan to fund the government for the next few months. Johnson needed Democrats' help since the GOP's right-wing Freedom Caucus, which helped orchestrate the ouster of the previous speaker, came out against the bill for not including spending cuts. Luckily, Dems gave their okay for that exact reason. It's not a done deal yet. The short-term funding bill now heads to the Senate, where it must pass by Friday to prevent a shutdown. Senate leaders in both parties have said they support it. So it looks like we're moving towards not being in a government shutdown situation. Now, this is only a 2-month fix. If you didn't know this was a 2-part bill. They're going to do that to keep certain sections of the government funded, and then they're working on another section. And the big bargaining point was no spending cuts. The people with the blue ties, they love to spend money. And you know what? Let's face it, the guys with the red ties like to do that too. And it's all about who, oh, my principles are higher and what I want to spend money on is more important. The problem is that when they spend this money, guys, they literally are just keeping promises. And then when they keep their promise, they push it off to the side and they move on to the next promise. And then that money just gets spent. It just more and more and more and more. And we're getting to the point where we can no longer afford as citizens to spend this money. They're literally like, the money's fake. It's not real, man. So don't worry about it. We're just going to keep fake spending the fake money on these issues that are very real. And I get it. It's logical. It makes sense. But at some point, and we talked about this yesterday, everything is linked back to the treasury bonds. When it comes back to it, and nobody's buying the treasury bonds, you don't get to take this debt and push it off on other countries. It's absolutely ridiculous. So it is what it is. Let's see. Did you watch Sanders about to have a heart attack yesterday in the committee with the Teamsters? Yes, I saw it this morning on the news. I think it's absolutely ridiculous. So here's the deal, guys. I've said this before. We don't have statesmen anymore. We have people pretending to be statesmen. There are a few here. There's a few there. There's some we like. There's some we don't like. But these people that are just supposed to be there because we ask them to help us and then go away when we're done. It's all professional politics. Is all this is now, guys. Our government is not what it's supposed to be. It's not where it's supposed to be. It's not operating how it's supposed to be. And so when you've got this guy, no matter what his value system is, he's a congressman. And you don't sit on your seat on whatever board you're on, or whatever you're doing in the Congress as a congressman, as a statesman, and then call somebody out and stand up like we're going to fight. Yes, I know he's an MMA fighter. He's ranked. Yes, I know the other guy's a Teamster mobster. I know that. I know this, okay? Neither one of them were going to back down. And the one person who brought levity to the situation was frickin' Sanders, man, this nutbag who's never worked a day in his life. He's the one who brought levity to the situation. Isn't that ironic? Isn't that utterly, totally ridiculous? Good morning, Tactical Seg. Good to see you, bro. I think you may be omnipresent. I'm not sure. But if you're, regardless of what your cause is, if you're a sitting congressman or congresswoman, you don't challenge somebody to a fist fight. You say, let's go outside. You say, I'll see you after school. Okay? Because there are rules for decorum, and those are the things that are supposed to separate us from the citizenry, that make it so that we are these respectable human beings. We already have way too many people saying way too much bullshit and using, and I hate to say this, but foul language in committees, in hearings, on the floor of the House and the Senate, like it's cool, and normalizing it. It just brings me back to that movie, Idiocracy. That's literally all that's happening. And there's a lot to be said for just the average guy or girl who happens to make it to be a senator or a congressman. There's a lot to be said for that. But you know what? It also means that people are looking at you to hold a higher standard. That's what they're looking for. And right there, somebody just said it. Sure, do it while wearing your jogging, wear your jogging outfit, right? That's exactly right. You got this Sasquatch dude freaking running around, can't put two words together because he had brain damage from the 17 freaking strokes he had, who is who while his brain may still work on the inside, his mouth doesn't work on the outside, and we're supposed to take this guy seriously. And then some kind of like we're going to feel sorry for him and go, oh yeah, well you can wear your sweatshirt, you can wear your what is he wearing? He's wearing basketball shorts and a sweatshirt, and we're going to make it okay for him to do that. We're literally lowering the bar every single day. And then we're going to turn around and say, we're a great nation. We're a great nation. Bullshit, guys. Every single day we lower our standards. We're not who we're supposed to be. We're absolutely not who we're supposed to be. You know? Okay, just like in schools. Absolutely true. Absolutely true. Okay, so side note. Here we go. Google CEO took the stand in an antitrust trial. The tech executive was grilled on a range of topics, including the company's record-keeping practice as part of the Fortnite maker Epic Games lawsuit against Google. Epic alleges Google created an illegal monopoly on Android device by stifling. This is junk. I just wanted you to know that Google is being held accountable for some of their things. And for those of you over here, for those YouTube algorithms, that's I just wanted people to hear that out loud. Let's see here. So does no business need a dress code anymore? What does that mean? So does no business need a dress code anymore? The members of our government need a dress code. We expect things. We expect better things from them. We expect them higher standards from them. Simply because they can do it in a t-shirt and, running shorts doesn't mean that that's somebody that we want to be making decisions that we've asked them to make. Our founding fathers wore their work clothes. They wore the clothes that they had. That's the truth. And they dressed much differently back then. All right, let's see here. This one's interesting. Let's go with, we did the Kathy Hochul thing. All right, what do we got? Let's see what else is over here. What do you think about China in San Francisco? Justin Ballard asks. I think that it's actually, I think it's awful. I think that they could have chosen San Diego or Los Angeles if they had to go over to California. If you guys remember last month, the old governor of California went over and shook hands with, Xi Jinping. So you think this whole thing wasn't planned out? You're crazy. They went to San Francisco because it is the most progressive city in California. That's the only reason. I think it's a joke. And what it comes down to is if they had done it inside of Los Angeles or inside of San Diego, which are more conservative, believe it or not, they're more conservative. The rich people in Los Angeles want to keep their money, so they're conservative liberals. And the people in San Diego are surrounded by a military town, and they're mostly conservative. And so that wouldn't align with the liberal values and aligning. And if you guys haven't figured this out, liberals are aligning themselves with communism. It's more than just saying it. They're aligning themselves with socialist values. It's more than just saying it. I think that you guys need to go back and read a few things about read some of the indoctrination books. Read some of the books that were written for liberals, that were written for socialists, and see how they think. And I think that you might find that the plan has been written many years ago. All right, let's see here. I'm trying to see, what else do we have here? Okay, so I've got this one for you right here. So if you guys didn't know this, we talked about it briefly. Okay? What's up, Bird Lady? Good to see you. Good to see you. Of course we do. What's your there better? Okay, I couldn't read that. Faded away too quick. So the next thing we want to talk about, we briefly hit on it early on in the stream about a prepper getting himself in trouble. So Florida doomsday prepper plans bloody last stand until cops lure him in with burgers is the name of the story. A two-day manhunt for a Florida man ended Wednesday morning at the FBI. And this article was actually, I'm giving you guys backstory. This article was actually written in June of 2019. I'm sorry, June 19th of 2014. Okay. So when a 55-year-old doomsday prepper, Martin Winters, surrendered to authorities, according to the Tampa Bay Times, a wet, footsore, and weary Winters gave up his freedom for the promise of some dry shoes, Gatorade, and a couple of cheeseburgers and French fries. Winters is the head of a group known as the River Otter Preppers, survivalists who believe in hoarding weapons and supplies ahead of an apocalyptic event foretold in the Christian Bible's final book. The Christian Bible's final book. Why did they write it like that? Stupid. The Book of Revelations. An undercover FBI agent infiltrated the group and spent months building a case against Winters, who the agent said was planning a bloody, heavily armed last stand against law enforcement officials. All right, so that was it. This was back in 2014. So now listen to this. Let's go right here and play.
Buried guns and threats of booby traps to kill government agents. It all sounds like something you see in the movies, but it's something that played out right here in the Bay Area. Now, one of the so-called doomsday preppers is being sentenced today. Our John Thomas is in Tampa now with more on this bizarre case and also what happened at today's hearing. Good afternoon, John.
Yeah, good afternoon to you. You think this would have been easy because it was he was getting sentenced today, and he had already admitted that he was guilty, but it wasn't easy, and I'm talking about it wasn't easy for the federal prosecutors, and it wasn't easy for the judge, and that's because there was kind of a juxtaposition here. On the one side, there was the severity of the charges, but on the other, when it came to Martin Winters, they had to deal with the fact that this guy has done great things for his community.
I just hope everybody sees how good of a person he actually is.
Not saying much to the media, family and friends would leave the courthouse. Their father, neighbor, friend, now sentenced in federal court for making and possessing unregistered destructive devices. A pre-sentence report would recommend 55-year-old Martin Winters serve anywhere from 46 to 57 months in jail. In court, 4 witnesses for the defense would testify as to Winters' remarkable charity work in his community in the Valrico area, citing things like a free produce stand that he set up for anyone who needed anything from vegetables to milk and even eggs, free of charge. Federal prosecutors would also tell the court they agreed. From letters they had received, Winters was a charitable, God-fearing man, loved by his neighbors. But the problem for the government and the judge, taped evidence of Winters talking about killing federal agents if they ever came onto his property. Winters would speak last, saying the talk was just that, talk, a guy boasting on a porch. He would then turn to federal prosecutors, accept his guilt, and apologize. He would then turn to his family and say he was sorry. Judge Hernandez would then impose her sentence, a reduced sentence, 30 months, with 6 months time served and 3 years probation.
I don't believe for a minute that he's going to kill federal agents. And that, as I stated to the court, this is all predicated on the end of times and doomsday. Doomsday, they've talked about it for thousands of years. We're still going.
Yeah.
So 30 months, he's already served 6 months. That brings it down to 24. He's probably only going to serve 85% of his sentence, so he could be out in 18, 19 months. I have to mention one other thing because I've never seen this in court before, as we have sirens going on behind us. After the judge left the courtroom, the federal prosecutor went over to the defense table. He shared words with Mr. Winters. They shook hands, and then Mr. Winters gave him a thumbs up. I have never seen that before in a courtroom. Back to you.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead and kill that. Let's see. I noticed something in the chat here. I want to answer that question. Where's it at here? So first of all, let's see. Lamb is Light. Welcome to the channel. Make sure that you hit that like and subscribe button so you get notification. What we're discussing today, this is a myriad of different subjects that we present at 9:30 every morning, Monday through Friday anyway. You're not going to catch me on the weekends. And what this comes down to is things that affect preppers and preparedness. Sometimes it's the news, sometimes it's background, sometimes it's answering questions. It runs the gamut of possible things, but one specific subject there's nothing that will be nailed down today. let's see. So we did that, and hopefully that answers your question. And then now, let's see. There were a couple of things that we wanted to talk about. There were some comments in the. I've tried to do this, but the either burger extra pickles. Yes, I saw that one too. What kind of burgers they lured him out with? I think he just thought he could get away with it. But the bottom line is that they had him, or they charged him with several different things. One of them was ridiculous. It's basically, it was almost like pre-crime. You remember that movie? And so they charged him with a myriad of different things, and the only thing that actually stuck was the making of these devices, and he did admit to selling them as well, and that's what really got him in trouble. The whole thing was, because he said that if the feds ever came to his house, and that bad things would happen. But he also preferenced that, and everything that I read was that it was based on an apocalyptic situation, not like, hey, if they come to my house today, or they come to your house today, that you're going to make, basically unalive them, that kind of thing. That is not what it was about. It was about, his statements were actually pretty clear, so they could never actually do anything. There was no true threats. Okay. And that's why they had to drop all the charges, with the exception of the making the things that go boom, the booby traps. So that's it's a shame, and it's really messed up that he's actually they're giving him 6 months time served. But I wonder, I couldn't find anywhere where they talked about how long he had been in jail, because this was charges all the way back to 2014. It's like 10 years. What's up, Suburban Prepper? Good to see you, bro. Good to see you. And I think I know who Suburban Prepper is. Is this the fancy guy that does? I'm gonna look at it. The Suburban. I'm gonna Google your ass right now. Suburban Prepper. Prepper. Suburban Prepper. The Suburban Prepper home. Ooh, you got your own webpage. Let me see here. I'm gonna check this out real quick. Yeah, there we go. Nice. I like it. Okay, so where are we at here? Back on. Let's get back on the chat. What we got here? By the way, guys, I forgot to tell you. Every so often something interesting happens, and I'm not sure why. But damn it, what is his name? There's another big ass prepper out there that started following me last week. So I don't know if it's good or if it's bad, but when I remember his name, I'll let you guys know. All right, so let's get on to the comments. So one of the things that I've been trying to do, and people, I don't know if they're just too lazy to make a comment. I catch myself doing it all the time, where I'm not even liking video. I just watch them and swipe. And I really have to stop myself and go, bro, maybe I should give that guy a little bit of love, So I'm trying to answer or address comments that are on videos that come up every other day, and just giving people perspective. It's not like, hey, no, you're wrong. No, it's not going to be like, it's literally just answering these comments. So if you have questions, put them down in the comments, and I'll be happy to get back to you live. All right, so this one came from Creative Redundancy. And this was in reference to the video that I put out last night about the Food Lion $6 Help the Homeless box as a possible hack, but in reality, it turned out not to be so great. So it says, hello, LP, listening would help some out here for $8.22 Canadian, and I'm reading through the speak here. With that said, buying in bulk could still be cheaper than care. I'm not exactly sure what this, but I wanted to address it because I did that video so that people would understand that maybe it's best just to use the box for its intended purchase or purpose. Pay the $6. They'll make sure it goes someplace. And Food Lion is reputable, so I believe that if I buy one of those boxes, it'll be good. You only save 31 cents. That was it out of the entire box. And none of the ingredients were super great. And then where are we at here? Then also somebody commented on that video. Are we there yet? 53.29. No protein? Question mark. All carb and zero fats. Why? Question mark. It will keep you dependent on the source, but seeds grown your own, buy seeds, grow your own food, protein, fats, then carbs for survival. All absolutely true, but I replied back to him and told him, I think you missed the point of the video, because the point of the video is not to say this is the greatest prep ever, because it's not. Saving 31 cents is not a huge thing. And the food that's in the box isn't that great. I did not actually see an entire meal in that box. You know what I'm saying? So I agree, but hey, man, maybe learn. I don't know. Maybe I'm complaining. Maybe learn to not present your opinion as fact. Okay, and then we also had a couple other questions here too. This one was in reference. If you guys haven't noticed this on the YouTube side, I've been putting a blurb every day, and it says it's basically questions all preppers should be able to answer. Okay, so if you haven't seen that yet, check that out. Julie Clark, what was going to? I don't know what that was about. Somebody just did something on my phone here. Okay, we're good. That's not important. All right, so I'm back. All right, so this was in reference to the question that I asked, and the answer was, where are we at here? Oh, this thing really printed out weird. My get home bag is in my vehicle. Still need to do a better bug out bag. And I bring this up because a lot of people are forgetting. It's like, I don't plan to bug out. I don't plan to bug out either. I have a get home bag. But every single one of these bags needs to be tailor-made for you and your situation. It needs to be reasonably flexible without turning it into a I'm never coming home bag, which is as big as a condominium. You know what I'm saying? We're talking 14 to 17 pounds versus 60 to 100 pounds. So make sure that whatever you're building is, well, one, make sure that you've got something, and two, that it is something that is going to be functional and work for you in your situation. That's all that matters. Okay. So I brought that up because I wanted you guys to know that I'm actually asking those questions every day, and it'd probably be great if you answered them. You might actually have a question that you get asked that you don't have the answer for. All right, let's see here. And there was another one here. So I put a video out yesterday. It was a little, and it got shadow banned. It got shadow banned hard. Let me see what it is. Normally, this type of video gets like 1,000 views inside of 24 hours. We're gonna this thing may make a little bit of money here, a little bit of news, or not news, but noise. Where are we at here? View your channel, and then we're gonna slide down here to where are we at here? 55 views. It's got 55 views, guys. That's absolutely ridiculous. And it's titled, "We Are Better Than You." Guys, listen to me carefully. So yesterday they had it wasn't a protest, it was a gathering there in Washington, D.C., where thousands of people showed up in support of Israel. For whatever reason, whatever your position is, it doesn't matter. Here's what does matter. These thousands of people tore nothing down, destroyed no property, no one was hurt. Thousands of people showed up and nothing bad happened. Flip the coin. When the other side shows up, they tear everything up. They say and do things that are unethical and unmoral, all in the name of whatever they believe in. I honestly believe that these people are some of the worst people on the planet. And I feel this way because they do bad things. When they get in groups, they do worse things. So it is being shadow banned. My videos are being shadow banned. It's just that easy. I'm just going to continue to plow through. I'm not going to make a big thing of it. But I thought it was interesting to find out that a short, which can normally do anywhere from 120 to 1,000 views inside of 24 hours, It's got 55 views. Gotta love it, man. Gotta love it. Okay, and let's see. We're going to close up with this. And then I'll check the chat real quick. So in one of the patrons actually messaged me, and I don't know where it came from. I feel like I should know, but I don't know where it came from. It was a question about spam, and preppers love spam. I don't know why. I am not a fan of spam. I do have a few cans on the shelf, but I mean, if I can buy them that have different flavorings or different spices in them, I do that. But regular spam, not a real fan of it. It's a great idea, but it's mystery meat normally tastes good. To me, just spam just doesn't taste very good. Anyway, so the question was, how long does spam actually last? And it was like, it's 2 to 5 years. That doesn't make any sense. I thought it lasted forever. And we just kind of laughed about it a little bit, but I decided to make this part of the stream today because I wanted to make sure that my Patreons know that I actually do read the things that they say and kind of get interested in maybe I can pass that information on to people, because if you have that question, someone else has that question too. So I looked it up immediately. Google told me that Good Housekeeping says that shelf-stable canned ham, such as Spam, lasts 2 to 5 years on the shelf. There's a company out there called Valley Food Storage. They are a very reputable long-term food storage company, and they wrote, understanding this, to research the question, how long does Spam last? We discovered that Spam's shelf life is indefinite, so long as it's stored with the proper conditions. That's great. We've got 2 completely conflicting pieces of information that still have not answered the question. Now, here's what I'm going to do. What I did was so the Spam product is actually made by a company called Hormel Food. So I searched their website, and they actually have an article on it. It's not a joke. It's right in their own website. What is the shelf life of Spam products? While the keeper of an emergency underground bunker might have you believe Spam products offer eternal freshness, there is, in fact, a limit on their goodness. On the bottom of every can of Spam product, you'll find a best by date. This is the date Hormel recommends using the product by. You'll likely find yourself gobbling up the delicious meats inside the can long before that date. But if you find yourself sitting on a stock of Spam products during a zombie invasion, be sure to check the date before you enjoy. So the company's obviously going to tell you that the date means something. All right. So from my experience, Spam products, it's a canned product. It's that easy. Okay. They last a damn long time. Okay. But the things that will change will be the colors, the food. I think somebody just posted in the chat that it will lose its nutritional value to an extent. All things will. It's like these vitamins that you're storing, unless they're compressed into pill form and never touched moisture, they will lose their effect. If it's pain, if it's a vitamin, if it's a nutrient, whatever it is, they will lose their effect over age. But particularly food as it ages will lose its nutritional value. Now, let's see here. Oh, what is that? What did Robert just say there? Boop. I'm going to read that. Robert says, I also watched Rural 2IC's, liked his interview with Pinball Preparedness. Yeah, I mean, I thought it was a good. So I thought it was a good video, or interview, should I say? I don't really want to say anything negative because I'm actually going to be the next person interviewed this Saturday. I don't know when it will air, but I know I'm being interviewed this Saturday. I like his format, and I think I like the guy. I don't really know him too much, but we always figure that out just before we do the interview. Anywho, I have actually asked Pinball to be on my show many times, and all I get is crickets. So when someone doesn't even respond to an email and say, I don't think we'd be a good fit, then I'll leave you to judge what that really means. So let's see here. If it never expired, they couldn't sell it anymore. Absolutely, West Virginia Pappy. Absolutely. And the reality is that anything in a can is going to last for a long damn time. Now, things can go bad. So the golden rule is when you open the can, if it does not look or smell right, don't eat it. It's that easy. Somebody posted there's a site called Eat by Date. I like that. We might have to actually look into that. If you guys go ahead and look into that Eat by Date site and get back to me and let me know what you think. Okay, at least respond. I'm big on that. Gotcha. I gotcha. Yeah, exactly. There's been many companies that I have been asked to do stuff with, and I look at them and I literally just tell them, hey, I don't think it would be a good fit. It's really that simple. It's very respectful. It's to the point. It's basically saying, no, I don't want to do it. Thank you for contacting me. That's really what it's saying. But that's never come up. So let's see. I think that's going to be it, guys. Let's see. Best Buy plan obsolescence in my cases. Planned obsolescence. I mean, it's possible. Everybody's going to look at that Best Buy date in the way that they want to, and they're going to see the things that they want to see. So let's see. What else we got going on? I think that's going to be about it today, guys. I've ran out of things to talk about. As usual, do me a favor. Make sure that you put something in the comments if you've got a question, because like I said, I do read these things. And if it's something that's legitimate, I mean, it's anything, basically. Put something in the comments. And obviously on the Clapper side, you can't do that. But and I will respond in turn, probably the next day. All right, guys, I think that's going to be a bit about it. Make sure that if you like what I'm doing, that you hit that like and subscribe button. Clapper, do whatever you do over there. I appreciate it. I just got a beer or something from Pappy. Thank you, sir. I like beer. I like coffee. I like beer. On the YouTube side, there are links below. Do me a favor, check those guys out. You're adults. Spend your money the way you want to. And as usual, stay safe. Have a great day, and I'll see you when I see you. Bye-bye. All right.